Once again, I'm Youssef Wright, the chess psychologist, and we're getting ready to go over the 3 laws of a chess master. The first law, never move the same piece twice in the opening. What does that mean? Every time you move a piece and your opponent moves a piece, move another piece. Now I'm going to show you what you don't do. If you move this and your opponent does this, now you can take his piece. This piece by the knight is no longer protecting the pawn. Therefore you lose the pawn, right? Because you move the same piece twice in the opening. So, whoever develops first is the person that wins the game. You keep developing, and then once you're fully developed, that's when you attack. Watch. We'll move the same piece twice for black and see what happens. I bring my bishop here. He brings his knight here to attack the bishop. I bring my rook over. Now he brings his knight here to attack the bishop. Now I push pawn. What just happened? He moved the same 2 pieces twice. While he did that, I developed 1, 2, 3 more pieces while he moved the same 2 pieces twice. And if you look at my back rank, it's more open and clear for me to bring my queen up and connect my rooks. So this is what happens when you move the same piece twice in the opening. You will eventually be underdeveloped and your opponent will attack you first. He's finally castling, and now we're preparing to take over a file and attack. Let's go to the next law. And if you want more information about these laws and to go more in depth into it, you can reach out to me. My cell phone number, 862-910-3211. Once again, that's 862-910-3211. My email is mrwright9000@gmail.com. The second law is you never take your opponent's offer. What does that mean? When you go into buy a brand new car and you move into the dealership, you never take their offer, you always give them a counter offer. Chess is a game about countering. So when you're not countering your opponent, then you're normally being tricked by your opponent. So, in this position, we'll go through what it means of not to take your opponent's offer. So, here we go. All right. With just basic development here. Not moving the same pieces twice in the opening. Now, here we go. I can take the knight, but instead of taking the knight, I'm going to wait for him to force me to do something. So, let's do this. Let's say I push pawn here, he moves rook here, now I bring knight here. I want him to take my piece, but you should never take your opponent's offer. Why? Because if knight takes, pawn takes knight, now what do we have? The rook is now being pinned by the bishop. Therefore, the knight can't move because the knight is pinned, right? So now bishop comes out, you lose a piece. That's what happens when you take your opponent's offers. Also, when you take your opponent's offers, you allow for your opponent to develop pieces. You don't want your opponent to develop pieces. You want your opponent to be underdeveloped. See, this is an offer. If you take your opponent's offer, now look, sniper bishop. I take the pawn and now I win the rook. So this is why you never take your opponent's offers, because you allow your opponent to develop a piece and eventually win the game. The third and final law, which is going to shatter your mind. You'll never be able to see reality ever the same way again once I reveal this to you. And this is called the power of 3. Whenever you make a move, like as in life, what is considered to be a good move and what is considered to be a bad move? Well, in chess, if a move has one meaning, so if you make one move and it has one meaning to it, it's considered a bad move. Remember, we're not playing checkers, we're playing chess. But even in checkers, Connect 4, any games that you play, you have to make moves that compound. This is your investment. Every move that you make is a solid investment into your future of that position. When you start something, you always finish it. So, with that being said, if a move has 2 or more meanings to it, it's considered to be a good move. Now, what is a great move? If a bad move has 1 meaning and a good move has 2 meanings, here we go. The power of 3. This is why we love the number 3. This is why you always see the number 3 in a lot of things. Religion, everything. Because 3 is one of the most powerful numbers that ever have existed. 3 is what makes a move excellent. Because if a move has 3 or more meanings to it, then it's very hard to stop that move. Because you may stop 2 moves, but you'll lose on the 3rd move. So, if your opponent makes a move that has 1 meaning, and every time you make a move and you have 3 meanings, every move that you make, you will go 2 moves ahead of your opponent, even if both of you are developing at the same time. I'll show you. In this position, White has made moves where they moved in 3. Black has made moves where he's moved in 1 and 2. Watch how this breaks down. This is called the Conqueror's Gambit. Pawn takes pawn, F takes E, bishop takes knight, check. Pawn takes bishop, bishop takes pawn. Black's like, okay, this is a free piece. So he's thinking 1 meaning. Once he takes, now here goes the 3 meaning shot. Queen goes to H5, check. Attacking the king and attacking the queen and attacking the bishop and developing a piece at the same time. 3. 1 meaning, pushing pawn. And this 1 meaning is just to block the queen from attacking the king. Now watch me move in 3 again. I'm going to move my queen away from the attack. I'm going to take here, check. So that was 1 meaning. Move away from danger. 2, attack the king. 3, take the rook. And now the game is over. The power of 3. One more example. And then after that, we'll wrap it up. This is a beautiful gambit. The OG gambit. The power of 3. Right? Now this is tricky. I've showed you this before. But watch how this plays. Knight moves here. Knight takes pawn. Queen comes here. Right? Now it looks like the knight can take here and attack the queen and the rook. So that's 2 pieces it's attacking. So that has 2 meanings. Right? So this is what we do. After queen comes here, knight takes pawn. Who do you think's winning this game? White? But let's see what happens. Queen's under attack. The power of 2. But watch the power of 3. 1. We move the queen away from the knight's attack. 2. We take the pawn. 3. We attack the rook. 4. We attack the pawn on e4. So now this move has 4 or more meanings. Whenever you make a move that has 4 or more meanings, you get an astounding effect from that. Now he can't take, he's sharp. Rook comes over. Queen takes pawn. Check. Now the king can't move anywhere. Blocked by his own pieces. Queen can't come out because knight can take. So now the party must retreat. Do we take knight? No. That's one meaning. Do we take pawn here? Check. Forcing queen to take? No. That's 2 meanings. But you know what? The power of 3. Knight moves here. Checkmate. A smothered mate. You could even see this in 3D. What happened? We used the rook to block the king in. The bishop can't take because of the queen. That's 2. And now the knight is attacking the king and he can't go anywhere. 3. Checkmate. The power of 3. So when you take this and you apply these laws in physics to life, and every single thing that you do, you apply 3 to it. From the time that you start your day, for the time that you go to sleep, you will be way more productive than the next person. This is how normal people become millionaires. And this is what separates the poor from the rich. It's the mindset, the power of 3. When everybody starts their day, they think of doing one thing. But when you think of doing 3 things, you will always be 2 moves ahead of your opponent. So if your opponent has made 10 moves, you've made 30. This is investment 101, but it starts from the brain first. The power of mentally and psychologically compounding. Will you travel with me? How far will you mentally go? On the next episode of Chess Psychologist.